Hey, folks, and welcome back to the Ocean Hour podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Gorman, and with me is professional sailor Frankie Clapcich, who's several days into the legendary Transat Café lore. Frankie, thank you so much for joining us as you're racing across the Atlantic Ocean. Let's just jump right in because you're a few days at sea here. How's the race kicked off for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a quite intense race so far, and we started a few days ago from Le Havre in really hard conditions, and we had the first 24 hours of racing, kind of slamming around in big sea state and big breeze, and now a few days later we are just approaching the Canaries Island. So definitely the weather is getting warmer. We got some sun. Yeah, you can feel that we're getting south. But the race is pretty much on. We are, in the front pack and try to hold tight on it. But it's not easy, No one is giving you anything.
You mentioned last time we spoke that the English Channel can be really difficult. How was that when you guys kicked off?
Yeah, it was. I mean, as expected, the English Channel delivered a proper day. We managed really well. I think we did a pretty decent start, and we managed to keep the boat, pretty safe in one piece. After the big breeze, we didn't have like any issue. So for us, that was a big priority to make sure that we were pushing the boat, but at the same time keeping everything in one piece. In the same night, in another class, we had three boats that capsized and had to be rescued. So it was quite full on for the race, but as we got out of the English Channel, it got better and better.
Yeah. So this is one of my really novice questions, but have you seen any land throughout the last few days? Is it purely ocean?
Yeah, a little bit of land. I mean, we just went by Madeira, a few hours ago, and you could see a little bit the hills in the back, but we've been pretty much in the middle of the ocean for a while right now, and the next land that we will see is gonna be the Canary Island, and probably able to see also the coast of Africa, depends on how close you get. And then after that, it's pretty much a big blue ocean for a while.
Wow. Can you share with us a little bit about just how you're feeling physically, what the sleep and eating situation has been like for the first few days?
Yeah, like today I was just telling Will that it's the first day that I really like, oh, I feel hungry and I'm eating all the food, So far it's been quite full on, and especially the start with so much sea state and wind and waves. It's not super easy to manage yourself, but I think overall we did a pretty good job, and we're just trying to keep having like a watch system between the two of us, keeping each other quite well rested. When one person is resting, the other one is taking care of the boat. And right now I'm doing this, and Will is managing the boat and make us going really fast. So yeah, we really try to use each other, as best as we can. And of course, the easier condition right now with the nicer weather and warmer weather is allowing a bit more comfortable life on board. But we're looking forward for the breeze to pick up again, because that's where we can really put down the horsepowers of the boat.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in light of that, is there anything that you guys are seeing weather-wise? Is it looking pretty solid from here? Again, a novice question, but is the gigantic storm that's hitting the Caribbean, is that impacting you at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's first of all, it's been brutal to even see what happened, in Jamaica, and what happened, to the communities. And we know how hurricane and storms can be so brutal in the, Gulf of Mexico and all the area there and the Caribbeans. But something like that is not, something that happen every day. So I think,
Yeah.
my thoughts definitely go to the communities, and I know they will be really strong and they will rebuild, but we see that happening way more often. Every year there is some community that get destroyed from this incredible tropical effects, and they're getting worse and worse. And of course, I mean, for sure, it's definitely affecting big systems in the Atlantic Ocean too. And this massive storm that slowly will start moving east, then compressing all the other high pressures and low pressure in the Atlantic too. It's definitely affecting a bit the bigger systems too. And we were monitoring it a few weeks ago when it was start to forming. And of course, we've been seeing how destructive has been in the last few days.
Yeah. Has anything come up over the last few days that you felt unprepared for, or do you feel like your training has been pretty solid?
Yeah, I think so far, like the best part has been really like Will put so much work in the preparation of the race, and making sure that there is like a proper strategy in mind. And I think we really stick with the plan, and so far it's really paying off, because we are not trying to just change our mind depending what other people, competitors are doing, but we're really trying to stick with what we think is right for us. And of course, we all have slightly different kind of boats, so the strength and weaknesses of each team are different. But so far, I think also like all the time that we sailed during the summer on the boat has been really important. And even at the beginning, after the start, like we were decently comfortable. It was quite a bumpy ride, but at the end, we were able to really push the boat, and feeling that we had all the tools to do it.
Amazing. Well, we're going to do another check-in in a few days here. Frankie, we're going to let you go. Obviously, you're out at sea at the moment. For folks that are wanting to keep in touch on a daily basis, Frankie's website, there's some awesome updates and even some cool photos on there each morning that get posted, and we'll link to that in the show notes.
Yeah,
So, Frankie, yeah,
we are
we're
our own on-board reporters.
it's amazing. It's
Everything
really
that you see
incredible.
is coming out from either Will and I.
And even as I'm watching this podcast upload, you're uploading faster than I am. So your Starlink on board is pretty solid, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's decent for sure.
Yep. We're rooting for you. You're out there crushing it. We'll touch base in a few days and send Will our best, and enjoy yourself, Frankie. Thank you so much for making some time for us.
Thank you. Thank you all.